Good morning, everybody. Charlie here, November Juliet 7 Victor with Red Summit RF. Today I am continuing my series on portable Morse code paddles. Welcome back to those of you who have been following along, and if you are new to the channel, I hope you find these videos useful. Today I will be reviewing the Schurr Wabbler by Bergsiek. Oftentimes people refer to it as the SOTA Wabbler for short. This is a great paddle, and I'm looking forward to showing it to you guys. Don't forget, though, that you can check the comments below this video, and make sure you do, because there's some great information there that others leave, oftentimes maybe corrections or additional information on this paddle. So let's get on over and take a look at this great paddle that I have for you. Okay, so the Schurr Morsetasten paddle by Bergsiek that I will be reviewing is often called the portable Wabbler or the SOTA Wabbler paddle, and it's a handcrafted paddle by Stefan Bergsiek. The design actually originates from Gerhard Schurr, a German personality surrounded in a bit of folklore. From what I understand, Gerhard Schurr manufactured paddles with very high quality standards and built quite a reputation for making paddles of the highest quality. Nobody made paddles in quite the same way he has and the way he did, and so those who own an original Schurr paddle are quite proud of them. But sadly, several of my sources who I've talked to have confirmed that he was, quote, somewhat difficult to deal with, unquote, and even to this day, many who have interacted with him in the past still have problems with his name. Apparently, there's a published story about him in the Funkamateur, which is a ham radio magazine, I think, in Germany, and is published in German. But I haven't been able to get a copy yet to find out more about him. I would love to read it. And also, a gentleman by the name of Marcus, Delta Lima 1 Delta Sierra November, who I believe is the author of this article, collects Gerhards paddles and keys, and he has a great website with pictures, so I'll put that in the comments below, or in the description below of this video. Well, so apparently after Gerhard's death in about 10 years ago, then Stefan Bergsiek acquired the trademark of his designs and has continued to make all these paddles, and that's what I have here, is one of Stefan's handcrafted paddles that is designed and made after Gerhard's design. And I have a lot of confidence in, I've had a lot of correspondence with Stefan, and he is fun to talk to, and his work is really high quality, so he's a good guy. All right, so let's get this out, and let's take a look at it a little bit closer out of the case I have for it. By the way, I got this case on Amazon. It's a really good price, and very durable and a handy case to have for paddles. So let's bring this scale over here and turn it on. Okay, so we always weigh the paddles with the cables, and so you can see here that this paddle weighs 206 grams with the cable. So the paddle is a little heavier. Let me move it over here like this. So it's a little heavier compared to the other portable paddles. Remember, I used ChatGPT and inputted all of the past paddles that I've reviewed, the weight of those paddles into ChatGPT, and got like a scale spit out for me. And so the scale is anything below 45 grams is low weight, anything between 45 and 85 is medium, and then above 85 grams is high. And so you can see that this is well above the 85 grams, so it's in the high category. All right, let's go ahead and try to measure its length and all that now. So when it comes to the length, we'll just take a look here real quick, and I'll just measure from this end to this end. It looks like right around 9 centimeters, or sorry, yeah, that's right, 9 centimeters, and then top to bottom, we're looking at 2.8, and then width, we're looking at 4.4. Okay. So this is a total volume of 110.88 cubic centimeters. And if you saw my video of the CW Morse SP4 that I had, it came out to about 41.25 cubic centimeters, and the Begala Traveler at 242.88 cubic centimeters. So you know, this kind of sits in maybe just below that mid-range, and so it's a pretty good size, or a pretty small size paddle. To make adjustments to this paddle, you'll need a small set of screwdrivivers, and it's a Phillips that you'll need. I mean, no, sorry, it's a flathead screwdriver. I'll grab this out real quick. You'll see at the bottom, or sorry, at the end, at the back of this paddle is where the contact is made. Let me just show you that real quick. So you'll see that the hinge is kind of right here. Not kind of, it is. It's right here. And so when you throw the lever in right here, then it pops the contact right here at the back. And so the same on both sides here. So this is where you adjust the contact spacing. And first thing you got to know is that you've got to unscrew these screws before you use the thumb screw to adjust. So you would take a flathead screwdriver and you would undo or loosen this screw on the top. After you do that, then you adjust with this thumb screw here. You adjust how much contact spacing you want in there, and then what you do is you'd go ahead and tighten this back up and do the same on both sides. As far as the tension goes, though, when it comes to the tension, there is no way to adjust that, and for me, it felt a little light as far as how much tension there is, and actually for this paddle there is no way to adjust that. It is magnetic returns, but at the same time, those magnetic returns aren't adjustable, so you can't adjust the tension on them. The paddle does come with a very common magnetic mounting option. So at the bottom here, you may not be able to see it. It may be covered by this sticker, but it does attach to my FT817, so there is a magnetic component to this, and you can mount it to anything metal, so that's good. I also found this key to be quite good at sending code. I was surprised at how few mistakes I made with it. And it was a little awkward in some ways because of the length of it, but it's once I got it on the radio and started playing with it, I quickly learned how to use it, and after a few QSOs, I was able to send and receive without any errors. It comes with a 3.5 millimeter plug and a cable that's connected to the back of the paddle. It doesn't have a jack in the back. It's actually, you can see here, it's attached with the wires there with a nut and soldered. Actually, it's not even attached with a nut. These nuts are not part of it. There's 3 soldering terminals there, and that's how the cable is attached. When I purchased this paddle, I did so on the website that Stefan Bergsiek has up, and that actually is no longer in use. It's not available anymore. So, and since it's a handcrafted paddle, I think that the best way to purchase it is to reach out to Stefan directly via phone, WhatsApp, or in email. I'll put a link to the website that he lists his information on in the description, and also a email address. I'm sure his prices have changed since I purchased it, because I did so before the pandemic, and at that time it was just over $200 plus shipping. So that's to give you an idea of the cost, but I'm sure it's gone up since then. So let's go ahead and get the grades and see what we have as far as the grading on this paddle. And make sure you remember, as usual, that these are my opinions, and so yours may vary or differ from mine, but that's all right. Okay, so we'll put the grades over here to the right and let you see what they are. When it comes to the cost, I think the price point may be a little bit painful for some. You're paying for the craftsmanship, and you're also paying for the fact that it's a custom build paddle, or a handcrafted paddle, I should say, not custom built, but it's handcrafted. And so, you know, that's where the price point probably is for some, and maybe some people may not be really interested in handcrafted, and so they wouldn't want to spend the money that is required. But at any rate, a B I think is a pretty fair grade for what you're paying for this paddle. Durability is an A. The paddle is made almost entirely of metal, except for the actual acrylic paddle parts, and it seems to be quite durable and could last a very long time if you take care of it. The weight is a D. The key falls into the high weight range that I mentioned before. So if you like a solid built paddle, you'll like how this one feels, but the weight is far above the 85-gram cutoff for the high weight paddles, and so for that reason I give it a D. The size, it's a medium range size, maybe yeah, probably medium. It packs away well in this case that I bought on Amazon, and so that's pretty cool. And I'll put a link to that also in the description. But it's nice in the field, and it doesn't too big, and it's not unwieldy, so that's good. As far as the agility, the paddle feels good, although I wish the tension was a little stronger. There's no way to adjust the tension that I'm aware of, and I read that there wasn't also. So I'm stuck with a pretty light throw that causes errors here and there. Customer service, I've talked to Stefan on the phone on a number of occasions, and aside from him constantly trying to sell his products, it's easy to talk to him, even though there's a language barrier. I received the paddle without these set screws right here, though. When I first received it, it only had one of the screws on each side. There's supposed to be two, and so I reached out to Stefan and asked him about that, and asked him, what the sizes were so I could just buy them here in the United States, and he said, no, don't do that. Just go ahead and I'll send you some. And I think it was up to 7 different times we tried to get these screws from Germany to the United States, and they never arrived. I can't explain why that didn't happen, but I eventually relented and just went over to Ace Hardware and found some screws that actually fit. So we're good to go there. So customer service is a C, just because of maybe a little bit of language barrier, a little bit of upselling, and that. But he was pretty responsive and always picked up. So pretty average, I think. Enclosure, I'm going to give it a fail because the design doesn't allow for enclosed protected contacts like we like. They're right here out in the open, and so be careful if you have it out in the field, and you'll probably need to clean it occasionally as well. Mounting is a C. It comes with the ever-present magnet mount option, which I always give a C on, and there's no attempts for creativity beyond that, I don't think. So C is the grade for mounting. And then as far as beauty, this is another really cool design, and it is pretty distinct and unique. It's got a different look, and so I think it's really nice looking. It's a good handcrafted paddle, and I like it. So I like the look of it. So it's an A on there. So that wraps up my thoughts on this paddle, the Schurr Morsetasten Portable Wabbler by Bergsiek. And so let's get it plugged in and then have a little play with it, and then we will wrap things up. Okay, folks, that is the Schurr Morsetasten Wabbler by Bergsiek. It is a really good handcrafted paddle. I really enjoyed using it in the field. I maybe wouldn't recommend using it often in the field because it is handcrafted and is a very nicely well-built design paddle. Feels good when you send with it. The only downfall I say would be maybe the magnetic tension on it could be a little bit stronger, and there's no way to adjust it. But other than that, it's great. Good paddle, and a very interesting one. Has a great and interesting background and history to them as well. So don't forget that this is an ongoing series. We'll have more paddles coming up for you in the near future. And so thank you for joining, and we will see you next time. 73, bye-bye.